Many have recently imported their projects from either DaVinci Resolve 14 or 15 into 16 and found that the glitch effect doesn't work. So as I was going through to try to figure out how to correct that or get it working again, I thought about a way so that I can save it once and then quickly apply it to any of my clips in any project that I have without having to manually create it. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Let's do it in Resolve. Okay, so let's create the glitch effect. The first thing I want to do is go into my titles. Let's pull in text. We're just going to call this one inspector. We'll just call it glitch. And actually, I'm going to change this to this one, make it a little larger. All right, and a little shorter, much shorter. Okay, so typically we'd create a compound clip and then go from there and add and go into color and add some effects. But what I'm going to do different here is I'm going to show you how to create it once and then reapply it to any project that you have. So go into here to view and you're going to select show power bins. It's off by default. Now power bins allows you to carry any video or sound or image or effect in this case between projects, and that's extremely powerful. So I've actually created a bin called EFX, and all you have to do is right click in here and then say add a bin. And so I've got one called EFX, and what I'm going to do now is actually create or add a adjustment clip. So I'm going to go in here under effects, adjustment clip. I'm going to add that here. Okay. Now, before I do anything, I want to show you there's a glitch in the software. I guess it's a glitch. It's something I noticed, but if you don't do this, it won't save the settings when you're doing OFX or Resolve effects. And if you notice here in the keyframe section, you can't actually place the cursor anywhere. I can select another compound clip and any other video file and it moves fine, but for some reason with this adjustment clip, it doesn't allow me to do that. And that's a problem because if you go in here and you set your settings, put it in a power bin and bring it back, it loses everything. So what I found to get around it is just drag the adjustment clip in here and then just bring it back and override it. And I'm just going to delete it here, remove it. Yep. Now when I go back into color, you'll notice, voila, now I can do all of that. Why that's the case, I have no idea. Hopefully it's something that's fixed in a future beta version and you can just fast forward past that. Now, as far as the effect, let's go ahead in here. And so under Resolve Effects, we've got JPEG damage. We're going to drag that into here. Now, what we're going to do is we're at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and set a keyframe here and set it for resolution 1. I'm going to cursor over about 5 keyframes. And I'm going to bump that up to 30, go 5 additional ones, back to 1, another 5. 30, and then another 5, back to 1. And that's good enough for illustrative purposes. So I'm going to actually shorten this up, and we're just going to look at it now. All right, so that's the basic glitch effect. Now what I'm going to do is drag it into my power bin, and I'm going to actually change this to glitch basic, rename it to glitch basic. So now if I were to delete this and drag it in here, you'll see that it's got it. It's got all the settings. It maintained that. And then if I were to switch projects, let's go to here, glitch video, which is another project because I've got dynamic switching and I can switch between projects. Now let's take one of these clips here. Let's just take that clip, the whole clip, actually just the audio, the video, and then I'm going to go into my power bin. And I'm going to add glitch basic, add that here, and now notice what it does to the video effect. Okay, actually let's do this. All right, so it can add that glitch not only to a text but also to the video. If I go back to my original project, I'm going to also show you the settings for a prism blur kind of glitch and shake effect. All right, so if I go back to the OFX, I've got my glitch prism shake. I'm going to drag that in here, and you can kind of see what that does here. All right, so I'm just going to shrink that up there. So let me show you the settings of that real quick. If I go into color, I'm going to go from the beginning. So I've got obviously, I've got a couple of additional nodes. I've got the JPEG damage, which is just like the previous one. So I go over 5 keyframes, bump it up to 30, and then the 5 additional ones that go back to 1. And then I added the prism blur. So that's the prism blur effect, which is here. And then, so I just added that one. And then the last one was camera shake. So under prism blur, if I start here at the first node, you'll see here these keyframes. So the first one I have X and Y at minus 250, the aberration distance at 0, and the aberration strength is at 1. Everything else is at default. 5 keyframes out, that's where I changed the aberration distance to 0.2 and the aberration strength to 0.487. Again, you can play with these as you see fit. And then at keyframe number 10, I just revert it back. So it just kind of oscillates between the two. And then actually out here, another 10, so the 20th keyframe, I actually adjusted the X and Y position, which gives it extra flair that you can add if you see fit. Now let's go to camera shake. And in camera shake, if I start at the beginning, everything is at defaults. The only thing I really changed is motion scale, speed scale, and motion blur. So those start off at 0, and then at 5 keyframes out, I bump these up to 2 and this to 0.3, and then revert those back to 0 here at the end. So it gives just enough shake to cause this effect here. So that's all there is to this effect. If you got any questions, please leave those in the comments below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next tutorial. Peace.